I have to be honest, here recently I've been struggling to find a balance between capturing these trips we go on and being present in the moment to enjoy them firsthand. While I absolutely love all aspects of filmmaking, at times it can be difficult and often put me in a disposition if I didn't capture the shot or film the expectation of what audiences want to see. So for this episode, we're shaking things up a bit as I invite you to ride along on an imperfectly captured trip, visiting places most quote-unquote overlanding channels don't go, and to simply share an adventure I had fun being a part of, even if it doesn't meet the standards of today. For starters, we kicked off our journey along the Oregon coast by hosting a Patreon campout for our folks that have helped support the channel over the years. While it was a small group this time around due to the heavy downpour rain and far drive, I was absolutely blown away by some folks commuting from the far north of Washington to join in on our campout well down south on the Oregon coast. For those of you that embrace the adventure, I can't thank you enough, as it was an awesome time to hang out around camp.
Where are we headed?
We're heading down the Oregon coast.
Yeah, it's a little rainy. We got some sunshine,
Sunshine
just a little bit.
with a mix of clouds.
Peaks here and there.
And then back to sunshine.
More clouds.
And then rain.
A little drizzle. Not a lot of rain. It's been pretty good. It was raining last night, but it's not raining now. I'm making the best of it.
Shelby is always one to see the glass half full, and even with the constant back and forth of rain and sun, we pushed further along Highway 101 towards the Coquille River Lighthouse. This 40-foot lighthouse was built and lit for the first time in 1896 and was then decommissioned in 1939. While it is no longer in use, this area was still a great spot to visit for witnessing history firsthand while exploring a new area altogether. However, what caught our eye was the long jetty stretching out into the water with ocean waves smashing right into it as high tide was approaching. Of course, we had to check it out and see just how far we were willing to go before getting wet. After a quick stop for a couple essentials and to help someone learn how to pump their own gas at the station, don't worry, it's an Oregon thing, we were soon back on the road and in search of a place to sleep for the night. With the evening getting late and not really feeling the effort of finding a dispersed campsite up the endless logging roads, we settled in for a more suitable accommodation.
So we're currently aired down right now. We got the Baja Design lights on at Cape Blanco State Park. We're venturing into the unknown at an advised speed of 10 miles an hour on pavement.
What do you think we're gonna find?
So, I don't know. We're going to find a spot because it's late. And I really don't want to go up forest roads to find something dispersed. So, we're doing the hardcore overlanding thing. State Park tonight. Oh, and it's raining. Adds to the element.
What'd you find?
So you can actually take this kind of sketchy road and drive all the way down to the beach.
Ooh.
All the way down.
Between high tide engulfing the beach, as well as no camping allowed on it, we found a perfect cozy spot here at Cape Blanco State Park. All kidding aside, this place was an absolute gem. Between the very well upkept and spaced out campsites, beach access that we'd be checking out in the morning, and honestly making an easy option for our situation at hand, I definitely recommend those traveling the Highway 101 to at least check it out.
What time is it?
10.
Why are we still laying here?
Because it's raining and I'm comfortable and I'm cozy and I don't want to go outside and get wet if you can't hear the rain.
It's a nice muddy mess. So here we are. This is where we stay. We live here now. Man, look at you.
1 potato. 2 potato. The sun. Oh, it's still raining.
Yeah, but it's sunny. Enjoying our breakfast in the sun.
This weekend was a complete game of chance for predicting the weather. What started out as heavy rain was now blue skies and sunshine for the late morning, and with low tide now in place, I wanted to get out on the beach and see just how far we could go. Hey folks, welcome back to another adventure. If you can't tell, Shelby and I are out here along the Oregon coast. This is my second trip in a row here coming out, and it's been amazing. Honestly, we kicked this trip off with a Patreon camp out not too far from where I was last time. And a huge thank you to the several folks who came all the way from Washington to be a part of the Patreon camp out, probably in the worst weather we've had because it was absolute downpour raining.
Yeah.
And you know, it's one of those where you just have to embrace it and enjoy it, because days like today are hopefully going to be following it soon after, and we absolutely are. So after the camp out, we've been venturing further south along Highway 101, and we came across this state park.
It's beautiful. We
Yeah.
embraced the rain last night. Downpour.
Lots of rain,
Or sunshine.
but sunshine here. There's a lighthouse that we're going to check out not too later in the day. But then we found this beach that we can actually drive on. So I know, granted, it's a state park campground, but you know what? It's really awesome that you have
beautiful.
so much right here versus driving up a logging road and hopefully, or maybe not, having a good sight. So we're soaking it up. Beautiful views. We're going to continue venturing further south along the coast and then cut inward and check out Crater Lake before it's all said and done. So let's see where the road takes us. When we set out for this trip, we didn't realize it would be one filled with lighthouse visits, but out of the 11 along the 363-mile Oregon coast, I'm happy we stopped to see at least a couple of them. Located at the state's westernmost tip and perched over the Pacific Ocean, Cape Blanco features a 19th century lighthouse and an early Irish settler's home. Built in 1870, the 59-foot Cape Blanco Lighthouse is the oldest standing lighthouse on the Oregon coast and is managed by the Bureau of Land Management. Seating at 245 feet above the sea, the light is visible to ships 22 miles away, helping those find their way along the coast. Did you know that each lighthouse has its own unique light signal? Back in the day, this let sailors know exactly where they were to avoid rocks offshore, while even in the worst weather conditions. I personally didn't realize this, but certainly found it unique for the 11 lighthouses that span all along the coastline. While on our way out, I had the idea of wanting to check out a potential future camp spot along the waterfront. Of course, what was supposed to be a quick thing turned into becoming a whole project due to my decision, but at least it was a laughable one.
The back's the worst. Oh my god. I think it's one of my favorite things to do.
What is?
Getting stuck. I was like, oh, let's just go check this out real fast. Nope. Ta-da!
Good job!
That's what Max Tracks are for.
There's just a little bit of mud everywhere.
Now, of course, in the heat of the moment, I didn't bother putting the leash on the Max Tracks, which has now resulted in me searching in the mud by hand for the last one. What's funnier is how incredibly heavy each board became with the amount of mud that clung onto them. Thankfully, with the water nearby, it was an easy wash-off.
It's like 1,000 pounds.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is fun.
I'll do the hard part of filming while you do the cleaning.
So you have to clean them because when you put them back on your Max Track mount, they interlock like Legos. And if anything, if too much debris is in between, they won't stack right. So, you know, anybody who's actually used their Max Tracks would know that. And I certainly have.
I tell ya, having a set of Max Tracks pay for themselves in gold for moments when you truly need them. Though with the Jeep unstuck, we swung by a car wash to rinse the salt, sand, and now mud off before making a quick stop for food ahead of what was going to be a greatly anticipated sunset. After a restful night at a nearby campground, we hit the ground running the next morning for our final day of the trip. Our goal for today, Crater Lake National Park. While I've been there once before, I've unfortunately only seen clouds as weather conditions completely blanketed the lake. This time, however, we had a little luck on our side as we quickly approached the Winter Wonderland at over 6,100 feet in elevation. Because of the heavy snowfall and time of year, the only road open was the short drive up to Rim Village. Due to the storms from the Pacific Ocean, the annual average snowfall is over 50 feet here at Rim Village, which results in roads around the lake not to open until late June or July. However, it is well worth the drive here even in the off-season to try and witness this spectacular scenery. Crater Lake occupies the shell of Mount Mazama, a collapsed volcano. It once stood over 12,000 feet tall, but its summit imploded after a major eruption 7,700 years ago. Today, one can view this majestic sight of Crater Lake that is fed from rain and snowmelt, which at its deepest depth is over 1,900 feet, giving it the title of the deepest lake in the United States. That's all I have for you guys on this adventure. If you're the rare few that made it to the end, I truly thank you for sticking around and watching. If you haven't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button, as it's a free yet powerful way to help the channel. Though as always, I sincerely appreciate your support, and until next time, safe travels.